We've done strict nutrition programs in the past. We've done just fitness challenges, that sort of thing. But what we really find success with is when we incorporate all three aspects at one time.
That's awesome. And what do you think, there's a lot of chiropractors that are listening, and a lot of them are trying to get into these corporations. And I just have found for me personally that cold calling doesn't work, and that's why we've set up a really great relationship. Matter of fact, you told me today that there's a company I'm going to be calling today to set up a wellness day. And I love doing these things because I love going out and educating the public on what we do. But how do you think chiropractors can establish a relationship with someone like you in their town to set up this relationship where they can then work through someone like you to be exposed to, instead of one corporation at a time, be exposed to hundreds of corporations?
Right. Great question. As an employee of an insurance broker, I have access to, as I mentioned, clients from all sizes. We're providing their employee benefits health insurance. So we are looking for ways to help reduce their costs, reduce their absenteeism, attract, better employees. All those things are very important to companies. If you have a connection with an HR person in a local company, through your church, through a civic group, through your gym, neighborhood, it really does help to have the personal connection. I do think chiropractors do have a little bit of an onus, and people think, oh, they just want to,
Sure.
you to come in and get adjusted, and that's all.
We say we have kind of a negative brand equity starting out.
Yeah, sometimes,
so that's a little
absolutely.
bit of a challenge, and we have to just confront the brutal realities of that. But just like you and I, maybe you had a little bit of that. But as we established a relationship, you kind of knew that we were kind of the real deal. This is what we do in our office.
Absolutely. And we'll talk about that in a second. But absolutely, I think, getting in, having a personal connection, having someone that's been a client or a patient is a huge benefit, because if, they see what your group does, they see what you can offer, and it's, everybody wants their companies healthier. Everybody wants costs down. So I think it's critical to have a professional standing in the community that people say, oh yeah, that's a credible group. I mean, that's someone that a lot of people go to. It's not, you don't go there because you had a car accident and then never go back again.
Sure.
I think you have to convey that it's a lifelong commitment to wellness, and it's a partnership, and you need more than 3 office visits to change your patterns you've been establishing for 30 years.
Sure, and hence that's why we do 8 Weeks to Wellness.
Right.
What do you think that the chiropractors that are listening, in dealing with a lot of HR people and a lot of the wellness coordinators for companies, what do you think that they're looking for when you talk to them in terms of someone coming in to educate their employees? Are they looking for nutritional talks? Are they looking for, get fit while you sit? I mean, what is it that the chiropractors need to perfect in terms of their educational programs?
I mean, I think every company obviously is different. I think the main things people are looking for are informational lunch and learn sessions, whether it be on nutrition, fitness, stress reduction, meditation. We had a great meditation
that we did at your office.
That your office did for us. It was very well received. I think they're looking for something people could do at their desk. Basic stretches with bands, which you've provided that for some of our clients. Screenings are a big part of it. People are looking for biometrics, even just to start off basic. If you can go in and offer a package of, like, similar to this wellness day, a blood pressure reading, a BMI, a hip to waist ratio, some basic nutritional. If you can provide like a 2 or 3 hour wellness day that kind of touches on each of these things, so people are aware of, what is my blood pressure? Most people don't know.
Sure.
Where am I on the BMI scale? Where am I compared to my peers? I mean, how abnormal is my current stress level?
Sure.
I think to start off a company with that, we see it at health fairs a lot. If you start off with kind of an introduction to wellness, that really gets people engaged and says, okay, wait a minute,
So just a general, like I always say, instead of going out and saying you have to do 10 different talks on 10 different topics, maybe perfect one talk, a general wellness talk that incorporates nutrition and exercise principles and maybe a little background on stress reduction, that type of thing.
Absolutely. And I think if you come prepared with, this is a cost for a 8-week smoking cessation program. This is a cost for, 1 lunch and learn a quarter. I think if you prepackage things, most companies aren't really comfortable with an open-ended wellness budget of, well, we don't know what it's going to cost. If you can come in and say, you know, there's the different tiers of
That's
service.
great, like a menu of services. Almost, and
Absolutely.
say it's
We
gonna be
can
this for
start,
this.
you know, year one.
And that's what we did with this wellness day. You
Yeah.
asked me what it cost. I came up with a cost. You went back to the employee. They agreed, and now I'm going to contact them and set that up. Real closed, not open-ended. That's what they're looking for.
Right, because, I mean, they make decisions all day long based on financials, and it has to be a very organized, rational thought process. You can't start the year off and say, "Oh, I think we're going to spend $8,000 on wellness, but I'm not sure."
Right.
And people like to be able to forecast, and they like to know that they are wellness dollars that are being used. You don't want to throw out a general wellness budget and hope people use it.
Yeah, and I'll finish up with this in establishing our relationship and you learning more about wellness and what chiropractic has to do with wellness. You know, a lot of the people in your office have become patients here, including yourself. And, you know, so that's important to me, is that, you know, that the person that you're working with really understand it. And I don't know if you can understand something better than to utilize the service and understand its benefits. So I want to just thank you for that.
Oh, sure. And, you know, I did come into chiropractic care with a little hesitation. But it's been amazing. I mean, it's changed the way that I feel. And, I mean, at 40 years old and never having been to a chiropractor before, I didn't really understand the value of it.
Sure, like most people.
Right, but it's a wonderful thing. I look forward to my adjustments.
And you told everybody you were 40 and they were thinking you were 25. So.
Did I say 40?
Anyway, thanks very much. I appreciate you guys being here with me. And Amy, I appreciate you spending some time with us just to educate us
Absolutely.
on what we can do to help corporations.
Thank you for everything that you've done for our clients. It's been an invaluable resource. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks very much.